Hello everyone and welcome back to Sudden Wealth. I hope you guys are doing very well. If you do enjoy the content, please consider dropping that like and subscribe. So as you guys know, my vacations are ongoing. Once again, I've been recording less than usual, but you guys know exactly why. I've covered that at length. But every time that I have a little bit of time, I like to come here and to cover some of the items with you. I think the biggest event that can have a major impact at the moment is happening within the meetings between Trump, Zelensky, Putin, and the other European leaders. And it would be great to have a successful conclusion of the conflict. When I say successful, that means a peaceful resolution. Is it going to be perfect? No. Do I think no land will be lost? That would be the first that I would see a country win a conflict and not get land. Would be the first time that I've seen any of it. I mean, at this point, there's a massive shortage of soldiers, which means it's not really about the money or the equipment. It's really there's fewer and fewer people, and that's it's a disaster. So let's hope we can get to a good conclusion. It's a very difficult situation. I'm not here trying to make judgments on anything. I'm just saying what it is. If that happens, that it's not guaranteed, but there's a big potential for a huge pricing of massive deflation or a massive deflationary pressure, which means people would think, oh, new energy producers are coming back online. New food producers, fertilizer producers, which is Ukraine, is coming back online. All of this will have massive disinflationary pressures, which means central banks will cut more rates, which means more liquidity will flood the markets, which means asset prices will go up. So there's a very good potential that that can happen. And obviously that would explode all the asset prices in that scenario across stocks, crypto, etc. Now, I have to laugh at this, at something, which is the level of fear that we are back in crypto. I mean, it's amazing to me. Every time we drop 5%, 10%, everybody loses their minds. I've said 100 times, I will say it one more time. Maybe the 101 will be the magic one. Bull markets are much harder than bear markets. Bull markets have sharp, short-term corrections. They make you guess all the time, and they make you lose focus of fundamentals. Now, what is the fundamental of Ethereum right now? The biggest one at this precise moment. You guys remember when I talked to you about the record net short positions on Ethereum? That record have been exploded. The net short leveraged positions on Ethereum have gone higher than we've ever seen by a huge margin. And the price is at $4,300. That's how easy it is when some of those shorts start to cover. That's how easy it is to push the prices higher. Now, does that mean that that's a guarantee? Does that mean that those shorts will trigger a big rally once they are forcibly covered? No, nothing is a guarantee. If somebody comes to YouTube and guarantees you something in terms of future price performance of an asset, that person is scamming you. So if somebody is guaranteeing you stuff, congratulations, you're about to get scammed into buying something from that person. What I'm saying is, if Ethereum price moves higher as I'm expecting, the fundamentals, the biggest one being the level of leveraged short positions is ridiculously high on Ethereum. That's the fundamental that is happening today. Not in a week, not in a month, today. But why aren't people paying attention? Because the candle of the chart is red. That's it. That's the big ha. I know that it's not exciting, right? It's not a big conspiracy theory. It's not a big, big correlation, between two events that look completely uncorrelated, and all of a sudden we have a voila moment in our heads. It is something really boring, which means it's really easy to trigger a massive cascade of buying just from players short covering. How boring it is. And you see, people confuse two items which are very important. They confuse something that is simple to something that is easy. The reasons why crypto goes up, and for example, Bitcoin goes up, they are very simple. Liquidity gets created, the number of currency units gets expanded, more currency, dollars, euros, yens, doesn't matter, chase finite assets like Bitcoin, and the price goes up. And if this continues to happen over time, it will continue to go up. And there's time periods where liquidity is dropping and Bitcoin drops quite aggressively, the same way that it goes up very aggressively. That's it. See? Quite simple. More currency units get created, more liquidity happening, higher Bitcoin goes. Simple. Is it easy to hold? No. It's not easy at all. Why not? Most of the gains come in few number of days. Many time periods are completely boring and makes you second guess everything you know about the asset and the asset class. Furthermore, every time you see the whole thing drop 30%, it messes with your brain because your hormonal response is to feel really bad when the chart is red and feel really good when the chart is green. Yet, you should be buying when it's red and selling when it's green, which is the opposite of what your brain is constantly, non-stop telling you to do. So it's very simple to understand the dynamic. It's very hard to act on it and to deal with the movements inherent in the asset class. And if you think Bitcoin is hard, Ethereum is much harder. And if you think Ethereum is harder, altcoins are much, much harder. That's why you can retire from altcoins. You can no longer retire, or it's very hard to retire from Bitcoin. Think about it. If Bitcoin goes to 140K, all of us will be very, very happy. 140K. What is 140K? That's a 2x of the previous cycle all-time high in 2021. That's it. It's like $1,000 goes into $2,000. But a lot of altcoins make 100x's. 10K become a million. But if you catch the wrong timing, you may see your 10K go to, $1,200 first. Is that easy to see? No, it's very, very hard. You need to imagine, these people already struggle seeing stocks dropping 20%. They already go mental. Can you imagine seeing their portfolios dropping 50%? It's crazy. Now the question is, do I think the bull market is over? No. Do I think there's going to be a correction starting mid to late September on Bitcoin? Yes. Important. Correction starts, in my view, mid to late September. So let's say it starts 20th of September. And I've said that the correction should be around at least 20% plus on Bitcoin. Now, what does that mean? Because I want to be very precise because I already know the level of comments that I'm going to get. What does that mean, 20% correction? Let's say the top is 20 September. Does that mean that on the 21st of September, Bitcoin will be down 20%? No. It means that over a time period, it will go as down, potentially even a month or two, will go from top to bottom 20, 25%. That's what it means. And does that mean that if Bitcoin's correction starts on 20 September, does that mean that Ethereum peaks at the same time? No. It can take, historically, 2 extra weeks before Ethereum tops, and then altcoins top about a week after. Will that be the top of the cycle? Depends. How euphoric will we be when that time comes? At the moment, I only see, maybe it's my X profile that is all messed up, I only see people desperate to sell. People just want to sell what they have. What we need for the top is we need people to come out and give you reason upon reason why the bull market this time will last 8 years instead of 4, why the bull market will continue because Trump, the Fed, BlackRock will prevent the bear market, and because why these and those countries are going to buy it and will prevent the bear market. You need people you need a consensus opinion to be, we are no longer going to have a crypto winter because of A, B, C, and D, and E. Are we in that mood at the moment? No. The mood that I'm seeing is Bitcoin drops 2K. Oh my God! It's like, it's the end. It's like, oh my God, Ethereum went down to 7 days ago pricing. No, it's finished. This is where we are today. You have to be concerned when you hear something like Bitcoin dropped 15%. Who cares? Immediately gonna put a new all-time high. Nobody cares. It's fine. It's all good. That's complacency. That's when you're approaching the euphoric moment. And in my view, we are substantially far away from that feeling. However, look, this week's going to be a volatile one. You have the Fed Powell talking on Friday. There still seems to be that the consensus is we're going to have rate cuts. I think so in September, unless he says, oh no, PPI went up. Really? PPI would now be the metric that the Fed would look into. Why? Never cared about it in the past. Has been beating expectations all day long except this past report. And all of a sudden it's the only report that matters. That's what I've heard already. My personal opinion, I don't think so. He already has his board divided, and I don't think he wants to be the first chairman of the Fed to be overruled by his own board, which means basically our chairman is a complete buffoon and idiot, and we're just going to overturn whatever he decides. I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's going to do what's expected of him in the market, and I think it will kickstart a round of rate cuts. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the data gets so bad in August and September that he changes his mind. I don't know. That there's a lot of moving parts. I don't think so. To me, the biggest focus is the meetings and to see if we can get a path towards peace resolution, because let's be honest, things are not looking great at all in that region, meaning Russia and Ukraine. And with that, guys, thank you very much for your support. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget, like and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one.